Megan Walsh believes she's irresistible in Coronation Street, and that confidence has made her think no one will ever suspect she's hiding a dark secret. The newcomer, who first appeared toward the end of last year, currently works at Weatherfield High. She is dating fellow teacher Daniel Osborne and has convinced everyone that she spends extra time with student Will Driscoll simply to help him develop his athletic abilities. However, the truth is far more disturbing. Megan is only with Daniel to conceal the fact that she has been abusing teenage Will. She has been manipulating him for months and is now pregnant with his child. The only resident on the cobbles who has started to realize Megan isn't the kind person she pretends to be is Sam Blakeman. After noticing that Megan had lied about a tracksuit top found among her belongings, Sam began to suspect that the teacher might be involved in an inappropriate relationship with Will. But proving his suspicions has been incredibly difficult. Megan constantly tries to stay one step ahead of him and has even begun manipulating and threatening Sam, something that is now seriously affecting his mental well-being. Next week, Leanne Battersby ends up confiding in the wrong person when she tells Megan she's worried about Sam and feels that something is troubling him. Megan reassures her that there is nothing to be concerned about. Later, believing she is alone, Megan answers a phone call and begins flirting with Will. But when Leanne suddenly walks out of the bathroom, Megan is left shocked and panicked. The following day, Sam visits the flat to collect his school books, and Megan uses the moment to make another sarcastic remark aimed at him. At the same time, Leanne talks to Daniel about her worries regarding Sam and apologizes for interrupting his phone conversation with Megan the previous evening. Leanne's suspicions begin to grow when Megan cancels her planned date with Daniel. She starts noticing changes in both Sam and Megan's behavior. But will she connect the dots and realize that Megan is the reason Sam has become so withdrawn? Or will Megan take action quickly and silence Leanne before she uncovers the truth? A shocking new partnership is set to form for Coronation Street antagonist Theo Silverton next week as he continues his efforts to drive Todd Grimshaw away from the people who care about him. When George Shuttleworth begins worrying about Todd's well-being, Theo quickly spots an opportunity to create further conflict for the funeral director. In episodes aired last month, viewers saw Theo pushing Todd to extreme limits, frequently criticizing his body and forcing him to take part in intense workouts. Trying to please his fiancée, Todd began going on long-distance runs, but the pressure became too much, and he eventually collapsed in the street from exhaustion. Fortunately, his boss George and Christina Boyd happened to be nearby and helped him back to the Undertaker's to recover. They were shocked when they noticed Todd's badly blistered and bleeding feet, and both voiced concern about the unusual way he had been acting recently. At the same time, George has been facing problems of his own after Annie accused him of cheating her elderly mother during funeral arrangements. In next Thursday's episode, 12th of March, Theo takes advantage of the situation by approaching Annie and pretending to be another unhappy customer. James Cartwright, who portrays Theo, explained that his character wants to cut Todd off from anyone who might influence him. He pointed out that George is currently the person Todd trusts most, making him the biggest obstacle in Theo's plan. Seeing a chance to remove George from Todd's life is simply too tempting for Theo to ignore. Cartwright added that Theo believes with a little manipulation he can push George aside, allowing him and Todd to be together without interference. In the storyline, Theo fabricates a story and falsely claims to Annie that George attempted to overcharge them while arranging his mother-in-law's funeral. The actor confirmed that the accusation is completely made up, but Theo convinces himself that it is necessary to achieve his goal. Looking ahead, Cartwright hinted that viewers will soon see his character behaving in ways both expected and completely surprising. He described Theo as unpredictable, explaining that this chaotic nature is what makes him such a dangerous yet fascinating character on screen. According to the actor, audiences will never truly know what Theo might do next. Coronation Street is set to finally reveal Megan Walsh's shocking secret later this month. The soap has been exploring a disturbing storyline in recent months, showing how teenage athlete Will Driscoll has been manipulated by his coach, Megan Walsh, who has been carefully covering her tracks to stop anyone from discovering the truth. During recent episodes, Sam Blakeman started to sense that something wasn't right, but Megan has been intimidating him to make sure he keeps quiet. In the coming scenes, Leanne Battersby will begin to suspect that Megan is being unfaithful to Daniel Osborne. However, a newly released trailer suggests the situation is far more serious than simple cheating. The promotional clip shows Leanne beginning to investigate after noticing how frightened Sam has become, eventually leading her to uncover a deeply disturbing secret. Once Megan's actions start to come to light, Ben Driscoll and Eva Price become determined to shield Will from the dangerous coach. But time is running out, and Megan is highly skilled at manipulating those around her. The big question is whether they can collect enough proof to expose her lies and save Will before the situation becomes even worse. Will's ordeal also echoes a storyline from decades ago involving Tim Metcalf, who experienced similar abuse in his past. The show briefly referenced that history last year when Tim's abuser, Trisha Marlowe, unexpectedly appeared back on the street. Trisha is set to return again soon as the soap revisits that painful chapter. This could potentially open the door for Tim and Will to support each other as they try to cope with the trauma they have both faced. Tonight's episode of Coronation Street delivers a chilling reminder of how dangerous Theo Silverton can be as he grabs a kitchen knife during a tense confrontation with his fiancée, Todd Grimshaw. The manipulative character once again causes chaos, ruining his own birthday by deliberately starting an argument that leaves Todd deeply shaken. In the dramatic scenes airing tonight, Theo reacts with clear disappointment to the gifts he receives from Summer Spellman and Todd, who is already struggling financially. Although he pretends to appreciate the presents, it's obvious that Theo is quietly holding on to his resentment. Later, his frustration grows even stronger when Todd arrives late for the birthday meal they planned at the bistro. Theo also makes the situation more uncomfortable by ordering the priciest dishes on the menu and inviting Gary Windass and Maria Connor to join them, clearly expecting them to enjoy a free meal. Todd is already under pressure due to Theo's tight control over their finances, so he inevitably fails to pay for the birthday lunch as he had promised. After cleverly creating the situation, Theo publicly embarrasses Todd by stepping in and paying the bill himself. When they return home, Theo demands that Todd go out and buy him a bottle of wine. Todd tries to calm things down by suggesting they just have coffee instead, but this only triggers Theo's anger. In a furious outburst, Theo throws the milk, coffee, and mugs across the room at Todd. As the argument escalates into a struggle, Theo suddenly grabs a kitchen knife and appears ready to use it. Todd, clearly exhausted and distressed, challenges him by asking, "What are you going to do with that? Stab me?" He continues, daring Theo to go through with it, saying he no longer cares and can't bear living like this anymore.